want it though. Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all.
Ehren from the Hot Tag Hooligans Wrestling Podcast Show. And here comes this week's 5-minute time limit. We'll start this week with the frustration that is the WWE. Again, this week they released 13 more superstars from the contract. Now, most of them were NXT talent or 205 Live talent. But look, they also released Bronson Reed, Bobby Fish, and Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez is someone who has legendary status all across independent wrestling, and she's definitely paid her dues. It was great to see her get a shot in WWE. A lot of people didn't think it was ever going to come, but hey, she did. There was a lot of mileage left on Mercedes Martinez, though, and as soon as she hits the open market here in a few months or 60 days or 30 days or whatever her contract says, she's going to get picked up pretty quick. Mercedes Martinez is someone who could help mold the younger talent of professional wrestling, especially on the women's side. And yes, she does offer some stuff on the men's side due to her intergender wrestling. I would have kept Mercedes Martinez as a coach if you were wanting to let her go, if that's something that she was wanting to do. She's just too valuable to keep around, to not keep around. Bronson Reed, your former North American champion. What's going on? Just a few months ago, he was just a North American champion, and now he's gone. He was getting some tryouts on the main roster. I get he's got big size and he's under 6 feet or right at 6 feet, and maybe Vince didn't like that. But there was a ton you could have done with Bronson Reed. I would have put Bronson Reed as a heel and then just had him start tearing people up. I see a lot of Bam Bam Bigelow and Bronson Reed, and that is a very valuable piece you do not want other competitions to have. Bobby Fish was one of the top performers in NXT history. If you look at his credentials, he's one of the part of the best factions in NXT history, if not all of pro wrestling in the last 5 years. I understand his age may have something to play with it. Rumor has it he's around 40, as he's in his 40s, and injuries kept piling up, and that was one reason for him to be cut. I had a bad feeling when it came to Bobby Fish. As soon as they broke up Undisputed Era, I didn't see where they were to go with him. But Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, New Japan, they're going to scoop him up immediately. For everyone else out there, I know it sucks that you all lost your jobs as well, but it doesn't seem like WWE was going to be using you guys anytime soon. And when you look at some of the talent like Leon Ruff, the great underdog story, he deserves more than what he was getting. Look at someone like Alex Zane / Ari Sterling. He has a great cult following. He's going to land on his feet and probably make more money on the indies than he would have in WWE. I may be wrong as far as that goes, but he's going to be okay as well. The frustration is just, what are we doing here, WWE? I mean, quit saying it's because you're hurting financially. We know that's BS. And there are rumors that they're going to go back to the old school way of developmental, which would be big-time monster guys. I don't know if they're trying to make it like an OVW and hope to pump out talent like a Brock Lesnar or Randy Orton, John Cena, Shelton Benjamin, those type of characters. And if so, you got a lot of work to do because the landscape of pro wrestling has changed. Some of the best wrestlers in the world now don't fit that bill that you guys are wanting. And those guys who do fit that bill that you're wanting, they're not elite talent. Vince is supposedly soured on the old Ring of Honor, best wrestlers in the world type feel, and he wants people who can main event WrestleMania. How about you develop some of those guys to main event WrestleMania? How about that? When you look at the landscape of the people that you guys have helped develop in a way, the only people that have main evented WrestleMania are Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair. Everyone else hasn't had a chance to main event WrestleMania because you continuously bury them. Are you telling me Bray Wyatt couldn't have main evented a WrestleMania? Are you telling me someone the caliber of Kevin Owens, if the story's right, couldn't main event WrestleMania? Whew, tough days are ahead for WWE. And hopefully, if you're a talent and your contract's coming on, you're looking at those other options. Because if not, you never know when WWE is going to cut you loose. Finally, this week, we're going to end on a sort of a sad note. We'll talk about the passing of a true wrestling legend, beautiful Bobby Eaton. And for myself, growing up in the 80s, early 90s, beautiful Bobby Eaton was always on my television with the NWA and WCW. man, what a talent he truly was. And if you guys have not seen any beautiful Bobby Eaton matches and you're actually in professional wrestling, I don't know what you're doing. His work ethic was phenomenal. His matches were always on point. His facial expressions, everything about beautiful Bobby Eaton, he was a wrestler's wrestler. And when you look at people like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ric Flair, they often say beautiful Bobby Eaton is one of the most underrated guys. He was one of the best guys of the generation. So I encourage everyone out there to go out, check out some beautiful Bobby Eaton matches this past week and upcoming weeks. And especially if you're a pro wrestler, there's so much you can learn from that. Want to make sure that we send our condolences out to the family as well. You know, when I wrote my book, Independent Road to Wrestler's Journey, I did reach out to beautiful Bobby to be a part of that. We couldn't come to an agreement, and I'm really sad because I would have really loved to have told his story in my book. But again, it's a sad time for professional wrestling right now. All things with the WWE and the ridiculousness aside. Anytime you lose a true legend like beautiful Bobby Eaton, it's a tough week. So for anyone out there that's hurting, send our condolences to y'all. Hey, that's all the time we have for this week. Make sure y'all are hitting the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support you are giving us. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, Independent Road to Wrestler's Journey. And we also have some great new merchandise that we just uploaded to Pro Wrestling Tee Shop. Hey, can't do this without you all. And for myself and Tom, we appreciate it every single week. And we'll see y'all later at the Hot Tag Hooligans Wrestling Podcast Show.